welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel, and today I'm bringing you the newest collection from Bee's Knees Lacquer. It's actually their 4th anniversary collection, and it's inspired by Fear Street. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. That lets me know that you love seeing Bee's Knees Lacquer on my channel. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe before you go. I bring you new nail polish releases every week. So this huge release, including a 25% off site-wide sale, that doesn't include the UP polishes though, will all kick off on September 24th at noon Eastern Standard Time. They're also launching some new Bath & Body scents as well as a huge respawn list. So if you love Bee's Knees Lacquer the way I do, buckle up for this collection. It is amazing. We get 3 new beautiful shifting shimmers. If you're a fan of UP, we get 2 new unicorn pigment polishes as well. We also have 3 iridescent flaky polishes. And the part of the collection I'm most excited for are these brand new pastel multi-chromes. All right, all together we have 11 gorgeous polishes to look at, so we better go ahead and get into the swatches. All right, so we're gonna start off with our shimmers. We do have a few of those with this release, and this one is called Youre My Monster. It's described as being a taupe polish with rich indigo to purple shimmer, and it's gonna retail for $12, so yes. Applause, applause, applause. This is why I love Bee's Knees Lacquer. They just come out with such unique polishes. Like, who would have ever thought to combine this color base with that color shimmer? It's just brilliant is what it is. So the base of this, I definitely agree that it is taupey. It has some brown and some green undertones. Well, maybe some brown and yellow actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Brown and yellow undertones, but definitely a taupe. And that warm leaning base just really contrasts beautifully with that gorgeous indigo purpley shimmer. Oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. On application, this one was incredibly smooth. It went on super easy, very self-leveling, and quite opaque. I was thrilled about the opacity of this one. A lot of times these shimmers, especially from Bee's Knees Lacquer, can be a little bit more sheer so that you can see all that shimmer, but this one was fully opaque for me in just 2 coats. I think 2 coats will be great for most people. Longer nails might need 3, and with that great opacity, we also got a beautiful glow from that purple to violet shimmer. So here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch in some outdoor lighting, and you can see that shimmer shifting from the more blue purple to the more pinky purple. It's just gorgeous. Pictured are 2 coats of Youre My Monster with a glossy top coat. The next shimmer we're gonna look at is called We're All Cursed. And it's described as being a dusty purple with aqua to purple shimmer. It's gonna retail for $12, and I love this polish. Disclaimer, I'm just putting it out there. I love this one. I opened up the package and immediately my eyes went to this one, not first, but very close to first. And I was like, okay, Bee's Knees Lacquer, I see you doing an office appropriate base color. Like, that is so not on brand for them. But of course they still, you know, added their own little twist and threw in that crazy, bright, vibrant, beautiful, glowy shimmer. Like, it is incredibly contrasting with that pretty mauvey, pinky purple base. Oh, just so pretty. So on application, this one was very creamy. Again, I thought it was going to be sheer because a lot of Bee's Knees Lacquer shimmers tend to be, but this one built up to full opacity for me in just 2 coats. Gotta love that. I think 2 coats will be great for most people on this one. Maybe if you've got longer nails, you may need 3, but I think 2 will be great for most. How gorgeous is that shimmer? It just reminds me of like sparkling waters. So here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch in some lower natural lighting. And you can see that that shimmer just creates this kind of ethereal effect on the nail. And then, you know, I couldn't stop there. I had to show you what it looked like under studio lighting too. If your jaw isn't on the floor, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. I'm just joking, but you know, kind of not. Pictured are 2 coats of We're All Cursed with a glossy top coat. And the last shimmery shade in this release is called Camp Nightwing, and it's described as being a mid-toned purple with lime green to blue shimmer. This one will also retail for $12. So this one just screams fall to me. I think it would be perfect for Halloween. It's got a deep broody purple base, but man, oh man, that shimmer is super bright. Like, it it just punches you in the face. And it's completely packed in there. Like at some angles you'll see, you don't even really see the base color because the shimmer just kind of takes over. And polishes like that, in my opinion, tend to be so transformative. They just look different in every single lighting. So as you can see, formula is beautiful on this one. It is so smooth. And in the bright studio lighting that you're looking at, it's kind of gonna look similar in sunlight. You're getting all of that gorgeous purpley base. It kind of has a little bit of a pink lean to it. And a lot of that green shimmer. But as you take it into lower lighting, you can see the shimmer just take over and a lot more of the blue as well. This one was fully opaque for me in 2 coats, and I think it will be a 2-coater for everybody. So here's what it looks like in lower outdoor lighting, and do you see what I mean? You can hardly see that pinky purple base anymore. It's just like all shimmery goodness. It's beautiful. And here's what it looks like in studio lighting. I just couldn't take these polishes off. I wanted to give them a whole tour of my house to see what they looked like in every single lighting situation. Spoiler, they're gorgeous in all of them. Pictured are 2 coats of Camp Nightwing with a glossy top coat. Moving into our unicorn pigment polishes now. This one is called She Reaches From Beyond the Grave. Ooh, scary name. And it's described as being a blackened indigo full of green to blue sibling UP. This one's gonna retail for $15. So once again, these UP polishes, this one, and then there's one more in this release, will not be included in the 25% off site-wide sale. That's because UP is basically non-existent now. It's really hard to find, so if you're a lover of unicorn pigment, I would recommend snagging this one because I really don't see it available in polishes that often anymore. I am not personally the biggest fan of UP. That being said, I am in love with this polish. It is packed with that pigment and it's so sparkly. Application is very smooth. This one was incredibly easy to work with. It does have more of a jelly-like base, but despite its jelly base, it has a really great pigmentation. I was able to get full coverage in just 2 coats, but if you've got longer nails, you might need 3 for this one. Oh gosh, it just glides on so easily. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And because of that jelly base, it has this super squishy finish. It's just really, really fun. So here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch in some sunlight. And wow, that green UP is so sparkly and it just adds gorgeous contrast with that blue base. And here's what it looks like in studio lighting because again, I just couldn't get enough. It's gorgeous. This one's beautiful. Pictured are 2 coats of She Reaches From Beyond the Grave with a glossy top coat. And the second UP polish we have in this release is called She'll Follow You Until You're Dead. Another creepy name. And it's described as being a mustard olive. The maker, Sarah, is calling it Molive, new word, Molive. And it is full of OG UP. It shifts from red to green. This one will also retail for $13. So at some angles and in certain lightings, this one's coming off a little bit brighter than it actually is on camera. It is a dusty Dijon mustard shade. Like it is quite dusty. It's what I think a lot of people would consider to be a prugly, and it is again packed with that red to green UP pigment. On application, this one was quite creamy as well. It is a lighter shade, so I did need 3 coats to get full opacity, and I think 3 coats will be what most people need. If you've got longer nails, you might even want to pair this one with a blurring base coat. This one also has a more jelly-leaning base, so the finished result is super squishy, and I just love those kind of finishes. Like jellies are one of my favorites. So you can see in 3 coats of color really does build up. Again, it's coming off maybe just a little bit brighter on camera than it actually is. I would say this color you're seeing now is true to what I'm seeing in person, but it's a dusty Molive. I like that. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats, and it's gorgeous. You can still see a little bit of nail line, but it's not super noticeable. And here's what it looks like kind of away from the direct lighting, so you can see that gorgeous shift from the red to the green. Pictured are 3 coats of She'll Follow You Until You're Dead with a glossy top coat. And then the rest of the polishes have some kind of really cool flake in them. So this one is called Dark Secret, and it's described as being a blackened olive polish with silver to blue iridescent flakes. And it's gonna retail for $12. Huh, so I did not realize that this one was described as being a blackened olive. I would definitely agree with that. I was gonna describe it as being a green leaning gray. And as you can see, it is packed with a variety of sizes of those silver to blue iridescent flakies. They're phenomenal. So I'm going to be swatching this one 3 ways. On the right, I'm going to swatch it in 3 coats on its own, in the middle, in 3 coats over a blurring base, and then on the far left as a topper over black. And the reason for that is, as you can see, super sheer. This one is very, very sheer on that first coat, but I did find that as I continued to build it up, it did get deeper and deeper in color. Without a blurring base, no matter how many coats you build this one up to, I don't think it will ever reach full opacity. I mean, maybe if you went in for like 5 coats, it would reach full opacity. But if you intend to wear this one on its own, you should be a person who likes wearing coats that show visible nail line. That is not myself. I don't usually gravitate towards polishes that are sheer, so I preferred it personally over a blurring base coat. I thought it looked very even and gave me that full, deep base color in 3 coats. And Sarah the maker did want to note as well that these flakes are a little bit finicky. They like to stick to the sides of the bottle, so I definitely recommend giving these a good shake, leaving them upside down. We didn't have any issues with curling, so, just keep those things in mind. So that's what it looks like as a topper. You really see a lot of the gorgeous blue and silver flakes in there, super pretty. And then here's what it looks like in 3 coats over the blurring base and 3 coats on its own. And here's what it looks like built up in 3 coats on its own, no blurring base. And I have to say, I'm a huge fan of these flakes. Bee's Knees has been using them in a lot of their polishes lately, and I just love the variety of size. Pictured are 3 coats of Dark Secrets with no blurring base coat and a glossy top coat. This next one is also a gorgeous flaky. It's called The Witch Made Me Do It, and it's described as being a pea green polish with glowy green iridescent flakes. It's going to retail for $12. So I love that description for this polish. It definitely is a pea soup green, and I would say that the base almost leans a little bit chartreusey, and those green flakes seem like they shift to blue as well. I just love these flakes. Again, we're seeing such a variety in size. We've got some that are huge. We've got some that are a little bit more dainty. And I think that's what makes these flaky polishes very special. This one applied very similarly to Dark Secret. It has a jelly base, so it's going to be quite sheer. Even if you build it up to 3 or 4 coats, I don't think you're going to reach full opacity with this one unless you pair it with a blurring base. Wow, look at the big flaky I got on that one. Over the blurring base, I absolutely loved this one. I would consider it a Pruggly, and I don't usually like Prugglies, but this one is just so bright and squishy and beautiful and fun. I didn't mind it either in 3 coats without a blurring base. I felt like because I had some yellow undertones in my skin, the nail line wasn't super noticeable on this one. Like, it wasn't as noticeable as it was in Dark Secrets. I hope that makes sense. But yes, in 3 coats, you got a really bright yellowy green color and tons of those gorgeous flakes. And then here's what it looks like going on as a topper over black, and I'll leave all the bases linked in the description box. Over black, you get to see those gorgeous greeny blue flakes. They're so magnificent. So here's what they look like up close. We've got 1 coat over black. Here's 3 coats over a blurring base. Isn't that phenomenal? I think so. And then here's what it looks like in 3 coats on its own. Also quite beautiful. Here's what it looks like built up in 3 coats with no blurring base coat and some natural outdoor lighting. I think this one's going to be one either you absolutely love it or it's just not for you. Personally, love it over a blurring base coat. Pictured are 3 coats of the Witch Made Me Do It with a glossy top coat. And the final polish in this finish in this collection is called Goode And Evil. It's described as being a burnt orange polish full of glowy gold iridescent flakes, and this one will also retail for $12. So this one, out of these 3 iridescent flaky polishes, is my favorite of the 3. I think the base color is so stunning. It's a little brighter to me than a burnt orange, but that might just be because it has such a glowy jelly base. And the gold flakes, wow, just wow. This one is so perfect for fall in my opinion. I also felt like it was maybe slightly more opaque than the other 2 polishes like this in this collection. Maybe that's just me being biased because I love the colors in this so much. It's possible. But I felt like it built up to pretty great opacity in 3 coats, all on its own without a blurring base coat. I could still see some nail line if I was looking for it, but I wouldn't feel like I had to use a blurring base coat with this one. That being said, I do still prefer it with a blurring base coat because I always prefer sheer polishes with a blurring base coat. That's just who I am. But again, that formula is very smooth and easy to work with. It goes on like butter. And then here's what it looks like over black. You get all of those gorgeous gold flakies, and we can see them shifting to like red and green. Oh, this one's so versatile. I love it all 3 ways. So here's what it looks like over the black. Look at all of those gorgeous fall colors. Here's what it looks like built up in 3 coats over a blurring base, my favorite way to wear it. And here's what it looks like in 3 coats by itself, no blurring base coat. Here's 3 coats, no blurring base coat outside in the sunlight, and do those flakies ever sparkle in the sun? Oh my goodness, this polish is fantastic. And then here's what they look like in lower lighting too, because this one has to be shown off everywhere. Pictured are 3 coats of Goode and Evil, no blurring base coat, and a glossy top coat. All right, and these last 3 polishes I have to share with you are 100% tied for my favorites in this collection. I couldn't pick a favorite of the 3 if I tried. I think you should grab all 3. They may be, oh gosh, I don't know. So if you haven't seen my top 10 Bee's Knees lacquer polishes video, I picked 10 of my favorite Bee's Knees lacquer polishes of all time. And I think if I would have made that video after this collection release, all 3 of these, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it, all 3 of these would have been in my top 10. They are that beautiful. So enough gushing. This one's called The Fruits of the Land, and it's described as being a pink to red pastel multi-chrome full of emerald green flakes. It's going to retail for $13, and it's worth every penny. Oh my goodness, these flakes are phenomenal, and that shimmer just glows from within. Oh my gosh. It goes on so smooth and easily. The flakes are plentiful and gorgeous. I got full opacity in just 2 coats, and I think 2 coats would be perfect for most people. My goodness. And I just love this color combination of the reddish pink with the emerald green. It's so interesting and so beautiful. So beautiful. So here's what it looks like in sunlight. 2 coats with a glossy top coat. The green is just amazing. And then here's what it looks like in my studio lighting. It just looks like the red is glowing from within. I don't know how else to say it. It's outstanding. Pictured are 2 coats of the Fruits of the Land with a glossy top coat. Up next, we have Full Moon Rises Before Nightfall. It's described as being a blue to purple pastel multi-chrome full of ruby red flakes. And this one will also retail for $13. So again, I just love the depth this one has. Those flakies just sit on top of that gorgeous shimmer, and it just seems to glow. In direct lighting, you get a whole lot of that blue shimmer, but as you move your hand around in lower lighting, and I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better in some of my photographs, you get to see some of the purple shift with the pastel multi-chrome. It's gorgeous. So once again, we just have a remarkable formula. It's so easy to apply. The Bee's Knees Lacquer brush is a nice wide paddle brush, so it goes on super smooth. Lots of those flakies come out, and tons of the shimmer too. I would suggest going in for thinner coats on this one so that it dries nice and quick. You will get full opacity in more than likely in 2 thinner coats. Here's what it looks like for me in 2 thin coats. Just beautiful. Here's what it looks like in sunlight. Ooh, maybe I could wear this around 4th of July. I think I could. It's kind of giving me some patriotic vibes too. And then here's what it looks like in studio lighting. Those flakes are out of control. The shimmer is out of this world. Deep, heavy sighs. Beautiful. That's all I got. It's beautiful. Pictured are 2 coats of full moon rises before nightfall with a glossy top coat. And we're down to the last polish in this collection. I wish we could just go on forever, but this one is called I Am No Lamb, and it's described as being a rose gold to green pastel multi-chrome full of sapphire blue flakes. It's going to retail for $13. So there was a second where I thought this was going to be my favorite, but upon editing, I was like, oh no, I can't choose. All of these pastel multi-chrome flaky polishes in this collection are my favorite. I can't choose. But this one, as you can see, is so unique and interesting. It does look a little bit rose goldy, kind of like a lemony lime rose gold. That makes no sense at all. Her polishes are the hardest to describe, and you can definitely see that green shift in the multi-chrome as well. I would say that the flakes look a little bit sky blue to me. They're quite bright, and they contrast again so beautifully against all of that gorgeous pastel multi-chrome shimmer. Full opacity in 2 coats, and how satisfying is this to watch? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So here's what it looks like built up in 2 coats, outdoors, so shifty and lovely. None of these dried with any texture, and no polishes in this collection left me with any staining. Here's what it looks like in some studio lights, and you can see that shift from green to rose gold. Gosh, amazing. Pictured are 2 coats of I Am No Lamb with a glossy top coat. So that is the Fear Street collection from Bee's Knees Lacquer. Is your jaw on the floor like mine is? Let me know in the comments which polishes you loved most, and do you think you're going to be grabbing any of them? Personally, I know I'm going to be doing some shopping with that long respawn list, especially with the 25% off site-wide sale. And in case you're in the mood to check out some more of my recent indie nail polish videos, I've posted quite a few recently. Last week, I live swatched and reviewed the Halloween 2021 collection from Colores de Carol. I also recently live swatched and reviewed the Fall Puns collection from Stella Chroma. And last week I did a live stream swatching Bluebird Lacquer's advent calendar for this Halloween season. I'll link all of those videos in the description box so you can check them out in case you want to. I hope today's video was helpful for you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye!